What is good, YouTube? What is good, PlayStation Nation? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona, host of When Persona Speaks, host of When Persona Interviews, and one half of the host of What's Up PlayStation Podcast every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And listen, this is gonna be a good, very good show, a very good interview that I'm really excited to have this person here with me today. Before we introduce the guests, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's here right now. I want to give a shout out to everyone, the early birds. The early birds was here, which I shout out to y'all, man. Even earlier today when I had first set up the live stream, I know there was like a ton of people here and things like that. So shout out to y'all, man. A big shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the lurkers. Shout out to the people that are going to listen to this later on, albeit at work, going to, in school, going to school, coming from school, going to work, coming from work, or, while you gaming or whatever, man. Really appreciate it, man. So I want to give a round of applause to everybody in the chat. I really appreciate y'all, man. I really, really do. So listen, this is number 11 of When Persona Interviews, and for those that don't know what this series is, this is a mini series that I do here on my channel where I interview different people within the community. Now it could be people, YouTubers, or just people, very prominent people in the community, or just people that are gamers that just want to get them on and have a conversation. Also trying to go up the ladder and interview some of these big wigs like devs and things like that. I've done a couple already, but this is a mini series on my channel that I do bi-weekly. So I really do hope that you guys enjoy this series, man. I really appreciate it. So my special guest this week really doesn't need an introduction, to be honest with you, but we're gonna give him one anyway, man. The DWYD, the host of the round table, right? He gonna speak the guest that I got today, he gonna speak his mind. You understand? Very, very blunt. You understand? I really enjoy the Roundtable podcast and the videos and things that he does, because he really comes at it from a very different perspective that I really like and can appreciate, because he keeps it real, which is what we need in this gaming community. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome KingThrashGaming. Round of applause, man. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Ooh, wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, King Thrash, let's go with you, man. How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, man. It's a sunny day today. You know what I'm saying? It's not too cold. I'm really chilling, man. I was chilling and gaming, man. I actually didn't even have classes today and shit because I woke up too late. So I was like, fuck it, just let me get ready for this interview and run it, bro. And here we are. I'm at the house, comfortable and ready to go.
Yeah, definitely, man. First, I want to start off by saying, listen, congratulations. I know it was a couple months ago or a few weeks ago, but I know you had got married recently. Yeah. Congratulations, bro. I'm really, really happy for you, man. I'm glad that you were able to find your player two out here in this crazy world, man. So congratulations to that, man. I'm really happy for you. Sir. So
I'm happy for her as well.
Definitely, man. So I want to start off. I kind of want to start off with this. Introduce yourself to the people, right, and then tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I bet. I mean, how do I start? My last name is really Thrash. You know what I'm saying? So King Thrash isn't something that's made up. It's actually my true last name. There's actually other King Thrashers out there, even on PSN, which is like my nephews and shit like that. But
wait, your real last name is really Thrash?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, super.
That's fire. That's fire. Okay.
I mean, everybody calling me Trash, but when I was growing up, but it was still cool because like the chicks loved it. They would like write me letters like, hey, you know how you used to write letters back in the day and shit. Junior high.
Yeah.
It'd be like, Dear Trash. You know what I'm saying? I have Cambodian chicks hit me up and they'll be like, Dear Saram, and that means trash in their language. Like,
yeah.
But they used to love it though.
Hey, that's unique, bro. Listen, man, Thrash, don't let nobody try to tell you otherwise. That's definitely unique, man. I like that.
Oh, it is. Oh no, definitely. I mean, it's opened a lot of doors for your boy just from the last name having the kind of swag that it has behind it.
I could imagine like a job interview, like, hey,
Man.
oh yeah, I'm Mr. Thrash, and the interview was like, huh? Like, yeah, no, seriously,
Like,
that's
oh,
my last name. Pull out your ID. Like, that's really my last name,
yeah,
Thrash.
that's
Like,
really me.
that's a good conversation starter, honestly. So
Yeah,
is
it's
that like
probably saved my life a couple times. So
it saved your
yeah,
life?
yeah, a couple times. Well, I'm from Long Beach. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So in the Long Beach police out here is crazy as fuck, right? And I've been
Mm,
pulled over for no reason. I think I counted like 30 times in a year, right? In 1 year I got pulled over at least 30 times. Never got a ticket. Never. And I drive like Miss Daisy. Like I'm a cruiser. I'm not really a speeder, so I never break the law.
mm-hmm,
And but I would get pulled over because the cops out here is like low key baby racist and they just extra.
mm-hmm.
But there's a detective. My uncle Oliver is a detective. Well, was a detective out here, notorious. So as soon as they see my last name, they're like, "Wait, you know what?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's my uncle. Just go ahead." Like, they wouldn't even fuck with me after that. So I mean, they already pulled me over on some malicious shit. Like I never, there was no reason to pull me over. And I've heard about, people getting pulled over and they'll take you out your car and fucking drop you off in SA Hood and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. All
But
right,
no,
yeah,
that
California and New York police are, cause
something
you in
else. I
Cali,
heard
I'm
about
all
New
the way
York.
on the other side. I'm in New York, so it's like, yeah. The
Yeah,
police
you
out
know
here
what
in New
I
York
mean.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, they will. They'll pull you over and immediately call for backup out here. Like, what? I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah. So
What is this?
yeah, so I
So
get it,
I
man. With the
mean,
name saving
yeah,
your life like that, cause that's like,
yeah. It's
ain't too
always a
many
life
people walking
threatening.
around the world with the last name Thrash. So if you're like, yo, my uncle is a detective, chill.
Yeah,
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 it's the truth.
yeah. Real shit,
Yeah,
and it saved my ass a couple times. But
definitely, man.
yeah, other than that, I mean, I got six brothers and sisters. Well, I got one sister and five brothers, I should say.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. My mom had six kids, and I'm the sixth. So I have four brothers and
Oh,
one
so
sister.
you the baby.
No, I'm the middle.
Oh, you're the middle. You're the middle.
I'm the baby.
Funny, I'm the middle too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you
Yeah,
know what it is. They don't give
yeah,
a fuck about us. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Nothing special about us.
Hey,
You're not the
man,
oldest. You're not the
it's the oldest and then
young.
the baby. That's the only ones they care
Yeah.
about, man.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Definitely, I get that,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's what's up,
I
man.
haven't seen. I haven't seen none of them in. Fuck, bro. Like my mom, she moved when I was 16. I've been on my own since I was 16.
Hmm.
Like, and my mom, she moved like just suddenly. I like literally came home from school and everything was gone. Right.
Hmm.
She even took my clothes, nigga. But she took my three little brothers with her, and I haven't seen none of them for like fucking 20 years or something like that.
Seriously, like
Yeah, yeah. Then
I
my
don't want
big
to
brother
pry
been
too
locked up.
deep into that because I don't know how sensitive a
Oh,
situation that is. But damn, that's
bro.
kind of crazy,
Yeah, it's
man.
kind of
I'm sorry that
crazy.
happened.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like you wouldn't believe, bro. If I was tell you half the stories of what I've been through and what, like bro. I had teachers coming to my house telling me to pull me out of school because I'm too smart. I'm teaching them, nigga. Like I just had all type of crazy shit happening.
Hmm.
But when my mom's left, it was like I haven't seen my brothers in shit 20 years, and then my brother, he's about to get out of jail this year. He been locked up for 24 years. So
Mm.
I've only been able to see my sisters. I haven't seen none of my brothers shit for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's just the gist of me. You know what I'm saying? I mean I used to do all this crazy shit when I was younger. Gang banging, do all of that shit. But I've been stopped all that shit. I mean
Hmm.
once I figured out that none of your game banging homies is going put anything on your books or ask you how you doing, my nigga.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
you got I tell a lot of these cats nowadays, like, look, you game banging has been played out.
Yeah.
If you ain't making a decision to lead your own life, then you just gonna end up fucked one way or the other. So I took the gaming route.
No,
Nah.
listen, man. I definitely understand. Growing up when I was a kid, growing up in a really rough neighborhood out here in New York. Um, luckily my brothers, he was in that gang life. I wasn't really in, or I was around it, but I wasn't like directly involved. You get what I'm saying? Um, and the things that I've seen and the type of life that I live, I definitely understand, and I'm grateful to be in the position that I am now, and I definitely think gaming was definitely something that really helped with that. So I kind of want to expound upon that, like with the gaming, right? Because you know, gaming definitely For me, personally, gaming has definitely kept me out the streets, right?
For sure.
Or somewhat. I ain't gonna say completely, because listen, I was a badass kid. But for you, man, like growing up in the hood and things like that, I really want to hear, like, how has gaming kept you, really on that on the path where you're at now, man? Like, how has gaming helped you in life?
Oh well, shit, bro. Like even back when I was gang banging, like nigga, we'll have parties and shit, bitches and everything. Everybody, fall asleep or whatever and shit. Motherfuckers used to wake me up like, hey, my nigga, hey, show me how to do this combo with Killer Instinct. Like I was always good at games, just period. I always was a gamer, always since I was a kid. But even like the hardest of game bangers would be like, hey nigga, show me how to do this. Hey, let's do this. Like let's practice. Like it used to be that type of shit. But what really sucked me out of I mean, a lot of reasons sucked me out of the game banging shit. Going to jail, getting out of jail, realizing, look, I got to make a change. But gaming has made the focus on that art. Like I look at gaming as art. I don't look at gaming as just something that you pick up a controller and press buttons on. I look at it as an art. And I'm an artist myself too. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I've sold pieces for tens of thousands. But it's I look at it like that. I look at the beauty of it, the music. That's why any RPG, RPGs. So that's the main thing about RPGs is the story, the art, the music, the things that has less to do with even gameplay and more about the art and the storytelling capabilities that is enabled through art. So I look at it like that. So I was always interested and always kept my mind at ease. You know what I'm saying? And then I can go to work, come home, play the game, and then repeat the process.
So have you always like approached? Well, I won't say always, but have you approached gaming as like an escape almost, right? So for example, for me, when I get out, now like as an adult, when I get out of work, right, and I come home or something like that, right? Well, before the pandemic, before I was working from home, I would definitely look at gaming as that de-stressor and that escape, right? So dealing with the stuff, especially even when I was younger, going to school and things like that, right? So looking at the life that you've lived and the things that you've experienced, can you say that gaming was definitely an escape from the things that you were dealing with in real life?
Oh, definitely, fucking super for sure. I don't know where I would be without gaming, bro. Like, I mean, I don't even know what type of person I would be without gaming. I mean, anybody who knows me, even my wife. I mean, I know my wife for 15 years before we got married. I mean, before we got together. I mean, so we've been knowing each other for like damn near 20 years now.
So y'all were childhood friends?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never, we never like was romantically involved for 15 years. It's just friends. We'll talk, chill, smoke, drink, watch a movie, whatever. We would just chill. It was never nothing like that. But she's always known that I've been a gamer. Anybody who knows me, family, not family, whatever. If you know me, you know that I'm a gamer. Like I always just was a gamer. I just love to play games, and that kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it was an escape from everything that was going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like everything from like my mom's leaving. Like I would be, that probably would drive some people crazy. You know what I'm saying? And nigga, I would play the game, and that would be a escape from that bullshit, or bullshit from the police, or bullshit from gang activity, or just racial, like people just being racist to you just to be racist type shit. I would just play the game, and just that'd be my escape from all of that. That's why I hate when people talk about politics and gaming. Abby and Ellie and these two pixels kissing, and I'm like, dog, like this is gaming, this is art. So like this is your escape from this. You're not supposed to feel any kind of way because you're playing a game. You're doing something that you're just playing. You're putting yourself into a world that you can't be in because this is a made up world. So take it as fiction, just like you would a movie. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a perfect escape for you to enjoy your time without worrying about people arguing in the background, or gunshots in the background, or the helicopter over your head in the background. You can ignore all of that and be sucked into the game.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
That's definitely 100% true. So in terms of the escape in the gaming, what's a game that you can think back to that really was like one of your go-tos?
escape. I mean,
Like
it was
what give me a game that was like a go-to game for you that was like just like yo man, like I can always play this regardless.
Super Mario World. I
Okay.
can always go back. I can always go back to Super Mario World, even
Okay.
today.
Okay.
I can go back and play that. I don't understand how I was so good back then, man. I mean, playing games now that were old back then is just incredible what I used to be able to do. I don't know what the fuck is going on with myself, but I mean, Mario was one of those games I knew I would always go back to, just either that or Metal Gear Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 1 made me the gamer that I am today, made me see the beauty of art and storytelling in gaming. And so I always look at that game. I can always go back to that game and watch that and play that game and still be deeply compelled into the whole story, the Twin Snakes, the part where you kill Sniper Wolf and all of that shit. That was like impactful parts for me when I was growing up. You know, it was impactful for me and my view on gaming. So I could say those two franchises right there, I can go back to them.
That's pretty good, man. That's dope. So in terms of, you know, to kind of shift gears a little bit, I kind of want to speak a little bit about the YouTube scene, right? Because I'm really curious I want to hear your story of how'd you get into YouTube? Like how did the round table come about? How did KingThrashGaming, the YouTube channel, come about? How did you find yourself here?
All right. Well, I never used to watch YouTube, right? I mean, I started watching YouTube for like a couple of years. I was watching Stone Fox Media, fucking Foxy Games UK. I think Foxy Games was the first podcast I would watch. Thought he was a white guy. And then I
think we all thought that.
Yeah. Then Stone Fox Media I would watch because I remember that one video when Xbox One first came out and he was just going off tripping. Then I ran into like the Angry Joes, and you know they always push the big channels on you. But it was mainly those three shows. But then I started hearing shit, you know, like me, you know, been gaming my whole life. I would know a few things, and it's like I'm hearing stuff that's not true, or I'm just not seeing. My main thing was the culture. I come from a culture, I come from the hood culture, and I would look for channels like that, you know, that to where I can laugh and understand the humor, like the hood humor in it, or just somebody that I can relate to listen to on YouTube. And it's extremely rare. I mean, I would go to hip hop gaming and I'll just be too distracted by this fake ass big ass chain he got on. I'll be like, nigga, this nigga looking like Eazy-E and shit, dog. Like,
Yeah.
You know, and then I would listen to him and I can tell that, you know, which all due respect to hip hop gamer, but I can tell he's not a hood nigga. But he would be hood to people who don't know hood, you know? So like me looking at that, I'm just like, I couldn't find nothing nowhere. So I was like, man, fuck, I could do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And one of my girlfriends at the time, her son started doing YouTube. So he was showing me how to do it through PlayStation and all that shit. He was just basically doing basic, you know, just streaming it. So I was like, fuck it, let's try this shit. So thought up the name. I always went by King Thrash, always, all the way back. Like that's why the name is original. When you look me up on PSN, there ain't no numbers or nothing. The original King Thrash. I've been King Thrash since forever. And basically, the whole motivation was just to get my culture out there. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I am the way I am. I refuse to be. I feel like I am professional. I'm just professional in my own culture. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there who appreciates that, and there are. I mean, surprisingly, I mean, you would be surprised of how many messages I get, even emails that I get of people saying, "Man, thank you, bro. Like you really representing and giving me something I can watch that I can relate to, because I can't find it nowhere. All I see is these nerd ass niggas. That's it. They do. I see nerd ass niggas talking gaming like nobody in the hood gaming, like are big time gamers, and it just, so I was surprised to see. I mean, that's why I don't care about how many subscribers I get, how many views I get, because I already know that the demographic I'm aimed at isn't the majority of the people on YouTube. So I don't expect to get 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, so
Expect me to do that.
so your end goal is not really to become this super. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But you didn't really get into this to get famous and rich and all this stuff. It was more so for you to show a different side of gaming. Like, yo, look, everyone isn't just, hey, how's it going? How's it? More so just it's just you, being who you are, authentic.
I'm not doing it for the money. I mean, I'm monetized right now. Like, the channel is monetized right now. I don't even click the ad button. You know what I'm saying? I don't even click the monetize button. The only reason I put it is because people wanted me to super chat so bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't listen. If people, I feel like, if people want to support you and want to, support you monetarily, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Like, you definitely want to get support for the craft. So I wouldn't be mad at that, right? Like, that's definitely do that, because you do have a lot of supporters. You get a lot of viewers, a lot of people that watch you. Definitely, and I'm sure they all are happy to support you. They keep coming back. You get what I'm saying?
I'm even going to start up a member. So I just want to figure out. I want them to be worth more than what they, what most people offer. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like to. I'm the type of gamer. I'm like, nigga, we gamers. I don't have subscribers. I have people I talk to gaming about, that we discuss gaming with each other with. I don't look at it as people be like, oh, you got a big fan base. I'm like, I don't got no fans. Don't subscribe to me today if you feel like you a fan.
Yeah.
I don't want no fans. I want nothing but gamers. That's it. People who I can discuss. Come and tell me I'm wrong, so I can know that I'm wrong. I mean, just a lot of that missing, a lot of truthfulness and passion for gaming missing in a lot of YouTube channels, because most of them just want everybody to agree with them and hook them up with some super chats. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm just like, look, bro, like, we all equals here, bro. Xbox. That's why I got Xbox dudes as moderators on my shit. Trolls even, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, no, you deserve to have your voice heard. As long as you're not being racist, nigga, say what you want to say.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that though, because like I agree 1,000,000%. Like, even from my channel, like the word, I don't know, something about the word a fan. I don't know. That seems kind of, to me personally, like, that just seems kind of degrading to a degree. I call people supporters, because you support the content that I'm putting out there, right? But like, having a conversation, right? Opening up the chats and getting people to come through. It could be an Xbox, PC, like that stuff I actually like, because hearing the community's thoughts and actually having a conversation, I really enjoy that stuff, man. Right? Like, so like with your channel, Six channel, Barry, when he does Speak from the Heart, I really enjoy that stuff, like listening to it and things like that, because there's always going to be, everyone isn't a yes man, right? You're going to have people that's going to disagree. You're going to have people that's going to agree, people that have different opinions and things like that. I like that stuff though. And I mean, I guess because I like the debate, like I really love the debate. So like, I love when people have difference of opinion. So like, I really appreciate that about your channel, your content and things like that. So in terms of the roundtable, was that like just when you got to YouTube, that was when roundtable just was what you were going to do, or did it evolve into that? Like, how did the roundtable come about?
All right, well, the roundtable came about like this. It was more, we was all on the Truth podcast, right? Not all of us, but like me, Draco, I think Clay. Well, Nick Clay had just started, but we were on the Truth podcast, and that kind of fell off in a bad way. I won't get into too much. I don't want to throw bit under the cloud, or I mean, a bit under the cloud, bit under the bus and shit. But he did some foul shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we kind of already saw the foul shit coming, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just start my own podcast. You know what I'm saying? I used to do this shit called late nights, to where I would just game and we would talk gaming while I'm gaming. I was playing Battlefield or some shit, and people would come and they were like, make your own fucking show. So at the end of the day, man, I mean, the roundtable came basically because, we wanted to be able to make our own show to represent us. When we was on Ryan's channel, It was more about him, you know what I'm saying, and representing him and only him, and growing his channel and only his channel. His channel was about growth, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to him. Nothing wrong with that. But the message that we wanted to put out, and when I say we, I mean like Draco, I mean Xbox Vidiot, and who else was there? I think even Diver was there. We wanted to be able to make a show that we can each express how we feel. We all knew that we didn't agree on everything, so we already knew like that was the beauty of it. And we wanted to be able to ultimately have a round table. We call it the round table, to have as many different people with different perspectives from different sides of gaming to come and talk gaming with us and have a round table discussion about it. So that's where the name came from, and that's why it happened, because we just wanted to build a community of gamers who just wanted to speak. And then there's a lot of gamers out there who want to speak but don't want to do YouTube, don't want to do a podcast, but they have a voice. So the roundtable is there to give them that voice, regardless of their opinion. That's why I have those Xbox fools come on, or the PC guys come on. Some of them say stupid shit. Some of them actually have a true discussion, and some of them pull out guns like idiots. But at the end of the day, everybody had their chance to say what they needed to say and be heard.
That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that, man. And you know, you've had some characters on the show, bro.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I definitely, you definitely are upholding that part of it where, you know, you just like, you know, you letting anyone come on with a voice and letting them speak their piece. I appreciate that, man. Honestly, that it's funny too, because, you know, when I got into like when PS4 came out and like this whole YouTube scene kind of came about, before PS4 I was really only watching like Machinima and a couple of other like YouTubers. Like I was really into COD, so a lot of COD focused things and, you know, things like that. When I got into this side of YouTube, you know, and really started like listening to these different gaming podcasts and things like that, and even watching some of the bigger YouTubers with millions of subs, one thing that I noticed is that, you know, the people with, you know, 1 million subs, 2 million, 500,000, 2, 3, 400,000, they didn't come off as authentic to me. And it was bugging me because I'm like, what? Like, why is this it just seems so fake.
It's something so generic. It seems like it's like porcelain, bro. Like something. It's something hugely missing that's hard to put your finger on. But I figured it out. It's just them being fake for money.
Yeah, and then you know, when I started listening to a lot of smaller YouTubers, like, you know, people that like 80, 90, 100K, 50K, 1,000, you know, 2,000, 3,000, like much smaller channels, I realized that like I really started to like connect with this type of content more, because it just it was a better conversation. It was a bit more raw, and it just was it was more entertaining. And I'm like, yo, this is the side of YouTube. This is what I like. So like a lot of YouTubers now, I watch a lot of smaller YouTube. I don't watch too many big YouTubers anymore, because it just man. I can't. So
it's like it's repulsive, bro.
You're right. You're 100% right. So I'm gonna get a question. So someone asked a question in chat, and this is probably gonna shift our conversation, which I don't mind. But shout out to Dribble Piss.
What's up, Dribs?
Dribble, he says, ask Thrash, why is he so good at making bots look so stupid? So I'm gonna let you answer that question, and then we'll get into a whole different conversation. Go ahead.
All right, well, it's not that I'm good at making them look stupid. I'm good at pointing out the fact that they're acting stupid. The problem with bots I don't even know if that's right, but the problem with them is they tend to, they're missing something. They're missing what's truly important in gaming. That's gaming and the actual distilled culture inside of gaming. And what I mean by that, I don't mean this constant war shit. I don't mean the communities. I'm meaning the identities that were given to us by these companies that represents what they want to be shown to us through gaming. For example, like how PlayStation, like you can see Uncharted, right? Or you can see The Last of Us, right? And they kill off Joel, they have all this shit. But even before that, you would also see these same people who were playing these characters before the game was actually even shown to us. They just showed that baby trailer, that first little teaser trailer. They had them playing guitars and playing the music and like the art of it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about selling The Last of Us. It was about, this is what we do. This is the art. This is the love that we have for gaming. Yeah, you can see the love. I mean, even at E3, you know, they like Sony fucking pulled out a big ass orchestra and have like sand falls and a lady singing or a guy come up looking like a bum with the flute or whatever the fuck, right? But it was all about, but it's all about that culture and love for what they did. The problem with Microsoft is they got their community. The what's distilled in that culture is business. So that's why you keep hearing, oh, Game Pass is going to make Microsoft successful, or they made this much money, or they made this acquisition. They're not talking about gaming. They're not talking about the heart. The heart is of Xbox is business. There is no heart for gaming. Nobody's talking about the story of Gears of War. Nobody's talking about the story of Halo. In fact, nobody's even talking about anything. They're just talking about what's successful for Microsoft. And that has no, and I mean no business in what gamers want or need. Regardless if Microsoft is successful or not. Our only success in gaming is to enjoy great games. So if Sony goes out of business but put out The Last of Us, sorry Sony, you're out of business, I guess. But you gave us some of the greatest games of all time. Microsoft is like our company. They're giving you nothing but telling you that their company is doing well. They're showing you interviews of Bethesda, like this fucking orientation, and say, oh, we don't have games. We're not going to show you any games. But here, come look at these businessmen we picked up. So now they're celebritizing the businessman. Phil Spencer is a celebrity now. You know who's a celebrity on the other side? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? If anything, fucking Kojima's the biggest celebrity developer out there, and he makes games. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would even say he belongs to on the executive side of PlayStation, like Shuhei Yoshida, just because he's been with the industry so long, and he's Shu, like because I've met Shu and he's a really cool guy. So like it's definitely
super laid back, but he's not on Twitter saying this. You know what I'm saying? He just on Twitter this is the game we got coming out. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a team of guys like Greenberg and Major Nelson to be the face and do a podcast and come on people's shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are businessmen visiting YouTuber shows to promote Xbox. Whereas Sony is just like, look, we're just making games. We're gonna do what we gotta do. We all know who Ken was. We know who all the other fools, you know, who was with PlayStation. But they're not trying to celebritize themselves. They're trying to show the heart of gaming. You know what I'm saying? Of what they believe in gaming. It's what I see. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I'm making these guys look stupid. It's that they're going about gaming in a stupid way. To where now I done looked up all their backgrounds, Persona. Like,
listen, I seen side note, I seen the Xbox video, the stream. I seen that. And I seen the pony one you did. Listen, man. That's why I like your content is very unique. Because I wasn't really expecting that. So when I seen that, you know, I wasn't surprised, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, especially with the Xbox One, I wasn't surprised. But I think because you make a good point, right? A lot of what we've seen, well. Because here's the thing, the business is, as gamers, I do think that the main focus should always be the games, and I do think that with a lot of the conversations that's being had on Twitter and in social media and on podcasts and in YouTube, we're moving too far away from the excitement of games to acquisitions and more business things that really execs should be focused on. And you know, listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to get up on a high horse, because I talk about that stuff and I do care. I'm not going to act like I don't care about that stuff either. I do. I'm not going to lie to you, right? But I know why I'm here. I know why I'm playing. I know why I'm in gaming. And something that I've been very vocal about in the past is to the integrity of gaming and the misinformation that gets pushed and spread out. That's where my issues are, right? Because once this, I hate to bring it up. We one thing I'll say about Microsoft lately, they've been really good at keeping themselves in the conversation. Because for a month, 2 months now, maybe even 3, all people have been talking about is Microsoft and this Bethesda deal. And I hate to bring it up here, but I do want to get your thoughts. Looking at the Bethesda deal, and when that got announced, it was just non-stop talking about, well, who's PlayStation gonna buy? PlayStation, and so the conversation, even on the PlayStation Nation side, and this is something that I've been vocal about, even with PlayStation Nation and PlayStation, the conversation has shifted, and now it's just, oh well, PlayStation needs to buy this and buy that, to buy this and buy that and buy this and buy that, and Microsoft should buy this, and that's really what the conversation is back and forth now, man. Thrash, man, break it down for us, bro. Like, what's your thoughts on that? And give us a breakdown, man.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like I had this conversation with Sick. Like me and Sick, that Sick is my brother. You know what I'm saying? And we disagree on this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that we disagree on shit. Well, actually, we disagree on a whole lot of shit that we always going back and forth, nigga. That's the greatness about me and Sick and how we get down.
Yeah. Two very strong personalities.
Oh yeah. But. And I'm a big fan of Sick. Sick, that's my nigga right there.
Yeah. Yo, I love Sick's content, man. He's a real cool dude. Too.
Yeah,
a lot of respect.
Yeah, a lot of respect. And like he'll say like Sony needs to buy this and this because Microsoft is buying them all up, and I'm like, nah, I disagree. And we'll do our back and forths about the shit. You know what I'm saying? And what my view is this: gamers are looking at something and not looking at it at the same time. And a lot of gamers are looking at it like, oh no, so this needs to beat the competition. Oh, if this company does this, then this company needs to automatically counter to do that, right? Meanwhile, they're not paying attention to Nintendo not buying anybody and still selling more than both of these motherfucking consoles. You know what I'm saying? And with the weaker console, with less games. So what Sony, what people need to realize is that Microsoft and Sony are two different companies in two totally and almost opposite positions. Each company goes by what their strengths are. Every company does that. That's why Nintendo stopped selling that Mario collection, right? People are like, why the fuck would they do that? It's because they're a toy company at heart. That's what they've always been. So if you make a toy rare, it has more work. So that's why they stopped making and bringing out that game, right? So that's going into accordance of what their business is. Sony's business is based on the quality of game and based on the hardware. So if you see a PlayStation, they want to sell more PlayStations, so they build games PlayStations because that helps with the core of the Sony Corporation company. That's why they got VR for the cheapest price. They got a PlayStation with high design level, and I mean, people haven't even realized how much PS5 hasn't even started on a designer level. Because once they start selling those plates, it's going to be a different game. Those plates, you know what I mean? Those fucking shit that you can take off and change colors. Sony come out with Sony branded shit, it's going to be fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
But same thing with the controller too.
Oh yeah, once those different color controllers come out, I'm gonna have 10 like I did on PS4.
Bruh, it's a wrap. And you won't even have to buy another controller. They even got because you can take that shit apart too, kind of like you can take a little black part off. Yeah, and they're gonna change it. It'd probably be a Ratchet and Clank one or something, whatever. They already opened up a different revenue stream with them, but it's all based on that's their strength. Microsoft's strength is software. So, and they have all the Azure servers. Their company is based cloud streaming, doing all of this shit. So they're shifting that onto themselves and making the moves based on that. So Sony, can't afford to compete with Microsoft when it comes to buying something. Like, they're not gonna be able to spend $7 billion on Bethesda, even though, and plus Bethesda was on the downturn of their quality of game, or even making money. So Sony isn't going to be able to spend $7 billion. And Microsoft didn't even buy it to compete with Sony. So I keep telling these niggas, they bought it to compete with Amazon and Google. So even Google has already confirmed this shit and said that, Microsoft buying them has kind of fucked their shit up, and now they fucking basically are bowing out of making first party games for their shit.
Done. Yeah, Stadia is it's done.
It's all based on that.
I'm waiting on Amazon Luna to just throw in the towel and be like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
because I feel like this is something I said before. Both Stadia and Luna, or Google and Amazon, they came into this for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah, they did.
They saw the money that was being made from PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, and they thought, oh, we could get in on that. Let's just, make this streaming service and just throw a whole bunch of shit in there. And it's like, nah, gamers can be gullible sometimes, but not that stupid. You need to have good games. You need to have things that are system sellers, or in Microsoft's case, you're gonna have to brute force your way in, right? Because I mean, now let's not act like Microsoft didn't, because Halo, back in the day when Microsoft first got into gaming, Halo was definitely a huge phenomenon. Then they had the Gears and all that stuff. They had their games as well, but Google and Amazon definitely came into this with the wrong intentions and failing.
Definitely. If you can't start a gaming anything and not have something that identifies your gaming something. You know what I'm saying? Like Google, they had that one game, Guilt or whatever it was, and it wasn't even a high quality game. You got to have a game to push your system out the gate. Period.
System seller.
System seller, pillar, or service seller, or however you want to do it.
I mean, you make good points though, right? Because when you look at PlayStation, PlayStation obviously when PS5 was coming out, they had Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, Sackboy, all those great games that are system sellers. When you look at Microsoft and what Microsoft has been doing in terms of the moves, although a lot of the stuff I don't agree with, or in terms of pulling me in personally, you see them, spending $7+ billion on Bethesda and doing all this crazy stuff. It's like, then, I'm sure you saw the news about Outriders being day and date, and you saw, you see Octopath Traveler is going to be on there next week, which, as an JRPG guy, if that doesn't get announced for PlayStation, man, that hurts. I'm be honest with you. I'm be the first to admit
and
that.
it's not. It's not either. I don't believe it. I think that's a deal, and I don't even think it was a deal to even take out the PlayStation part. I mean, they'll come out with it after it leaves Game Pass. But what's concerning, man? If I may talk about like Game Pass and what's my concern about?
Yeah, man.
Just the services.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is that this is truly cutting out the game, like the power of gamers. Like Game Pass and services like PS Now even are taking away our power to fight with our wallets. People are like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And I'm like, bro, these developers are no longer making games to impress us. They're making games to impress Microsoft. Microsoft and Sony with PS Now, or Microsoft with Game Pass, are their new customers. They don't need us no more. Like look at for Outriders, for example, right? You can make that game. They put that game out and they made a demo for it, right? I guarantee you they looked at those demo numbers and saw not too many people were playing it. People played it and didn't come back to it. And this is a game that's supposed to be lasting, kind of like Destiny, right? So they see that not happening. What the option here is that I can just get money from Microsoft and then get the money that I feel that I should have gotten or get way closer. And a lot of developers have said that Microsoft has paid for what it costs to make the game. So everything that does sell is 100% profit. So what's happening here is developers are starting to make games not high quality, but just quality enough for Microsoft to pay what it costs to make that game. So they can sell it to Microsoft and bypass what gamers want or like. And then, which is being proven to this day with Outriders and Octopath or whoever, that a game coming to Game Pass, good or bad, old or new, will have some type of hype around it, at least from the Xbox community. So It's the Xbox community isn't helping itself by hyping up Outriders, even though before it was coming to Game Pass, they were like meh about it. Nobody was talking about it. Now they're all talking about it, screaming from the rooftops because it's going to be on Game Pass. But that game has not risen in its quality. So you still got the same game that you were meh about, but now you're big happy because it's coming to Game Pass.
So you think the fact that it's coming to Game Pass, it removes the ability for a consumer to complain about the quality of the game because of the subsidized price.
Right. I mean, they can't, even if they do complain, it's like, fuck you, because you're not my customer. Microsoft is, and they already paid us. So they can already walk away from it. They don't got to hear shit gamers got to say. You know what I mean? Because their money they already made their money from Microsoft. So they can kiss their ass. They better kiss my ass.
But Thrash, I got to ask this question, man. How, and this is a question I've been asking for a very long time, like 2-3 years. How is that sustainable? And I'm talking as an industry. How is something like that sustainable?
It's not, dog. It's not. Look, like I said, Sony would never do this because they cannot afford to lose money for so long, and it's not sustainable for any regular company. Microsoft has revenue or profit coming in on a daily just from things outside of gaming, right?
No,
so if they were able to, they need to overall, what they need to do is get over 150 million subscribers to actually call it sustainable growth in that service, because of how much money they spend on making. Think about this, Persona, bro. They bought about 24, I think 18 studios they bought, right? In the past 3 years. Let's just pretend that's only $10 billion. That doesn't include the wages that need to be paid every week. Doesn't include the new OI, and what that is operating income. Some idiot on Twitter is saying operating income is profit when it's not. Stupid. Operating income is
how much money the company needs to run the business.
Exactly. And how much money you need to operate the fucking business.
Yeah.
And you have all of this new stuff that just piles up. And then on top of that, Persona, if they are going to make AAA games, you're going to have to spend money on that, and marketing and licensing if that's needed, whatever is needed to make a AAA game. So that's a lot of money for all these new 17 new studios on top of the older studios, which is Halo, Gears, and Forza, that's going to need their same type of money only to put it on Game Pass day and date.
But then, Thrash, this is why I asked the question of between the 18 extra studios that they've acquired, right? Between, this most recent 7.5 billion acquisition, between doing third-party marketing deals and things like that, right, into Game Pass. How I don't know. I'm looking at the in hindsight, or looking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. The way I see it personally is one of two things, right? And tell me if you agree or disagree. Either the quality of game dips, or the amount of games that release dips. One of those two things I feel are going to happen. What do you think about that? Because and I'm talking like in terms of the entire industry, and if we're moving to this type of route with subsidized gaming,
right?
What do you think,
bro? Oh no, 100% agree. I believe you're 100% right. That's the biggest fear, and that's what a lot of these Xbox fans don't realize. But like I said, a lot of these niggas not even gamers, so they just there to complain and talk shit. That's what they're there for. But yes, you're 100% right.
I agree with you. Like, especially after seeing your video and the achievement list, I definitely agree. But this type of stuff is detrimental to the community because it becomes a snowball effect.
Yeah. People not realizing what's gonna happen. They've already, if you've been watching and listening to what they've been saying over there at Microsoft, is that they've been splitting up a lot of these companies. Like they've been splitting them up. Like say Ninja Theory. I think they got split up into 3 companies. I mean 3 teams to make 3 different games. Right? You got Project Mara, You got Hellblade, and then one that they said they haven't announced yet. I think they were ones working on Bleeding Edge or something. I don't know, but they all in all, that small team already got split into 3. So what their goal is to bring out as much content as possible, right? That's what they're going to have to do, is to bring out as much content as possible, because, like I said earlier, their view is to sell more Game Pass subscriptions and shit. So they're gonna have, in order to do that, they're gonna have to have a consistent, steady stream of titles coming out. But like you said, what they're gonna do is it's gonna make games with less quality. There's no other choice around it. That's why I was saying earlier about the AAA games. Like, you expect them to make AAA games, all these studios? No, they're gonna be making lesser games than what they've already done. And Matt Booty's already said it, though. Matt Booty already said that the studios that they bought will be focused on AA games, or games that are under AAA, which is basically a nice way of saying AA, which is probably going to be smaller than that.
So then
as long as they get content out.
So then I want to ask you this question, man, because this has been a question that has been floating around the community for like 3 weeks. There's still people, we all are still talking about this right now. And Thrash, you were one of the few people. I definitely want to hear your take on this. Bethesda.
The who?
Bethesda. What games do you think we are going to see show up, if at all, on PlayStation?
All right. Well,
I personally don't. It's because Microsoft owns Bethesda. They have a right not to put anything on PlayStation. I'll be honest, because they own it. So I'm not mad at that. But I want to hear your thoughts. What games do you think, if any, would be showing up on Bethesda? I mean, on PlayStation from Bethesda.
Okay. Well, I'll give it in 2 parts so you can fully understand what my view is. My view is Xbox need as many exclusives as they possibly can. So I would hope that they spend $7 billion, that they would take all of those games and put them exclusively on Xbox, not even on PC, just on Xbox, to help Xbox grab some legs. You know what I'm saying? It needs its legs. It has none.
Yeah.
But the business side of me, like I said, I've been in business for years, and I know for a fact it's impossible for them to buy a company for $7 billion and then cut out any portion of that. If PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever, they have a market there for games that are already established there, they're legacy games. But it's impossible. It's impossible to put a number on it. Like, but that's like, look, this is what happened in business. But that's we worth this much. Microsoft, like, okay, you worth 7.5 billion. They didn't spend 7.5 billion, or when Bethesda told them how much they were worth, they didn't cut out PlayStation and Nintendo and their sales and all of that from PlayStation and Nintendo gamers. So, like, if they would have, it probably would have cost them $5 billion or $4 billion. You know what I'm saying? So you don't buy a company to cut out what was part of the thing that you paid for. So they know that they have a market of people who like Fallout, who like Doom, who like Skyrim on PlayStation.
Now let me stop you right there.
I don't believe they're going to cut.
Let me ask you this question then, Thrash. Now, what if we're getting a radical side of Microsoft, right? Where they're just like, look, we're really trying to, we're dumping all our, because this is how I see it. Now, listen, I'm speaking as a PlayStation guy, but you already know. I feel like Microsoft is definitely putting all of their eggs in the Game Pass basket. So what if we get a very radical approach from Microsoft, where it's like, oh, well, you know what? Nothing. Elder Scrolls, Starfield, none of that's going to PlayStation. It's all going into Game Pass. $15 a month. Come on over.
Well,
what's your take on that?
That would be, I don't think they're going to be that radical. I think, in fact, the reason why I say this is because Satya Nadella has stopped that type of radicalism. They've made everything that they had exclusive to not only Xbox, but to Windows and their entire company open for their competition to use. That's why you have Microsoft Word on Apple. You have all these different things, Excel and all the stuff that they own available on Apple products, as long as that Apple allowed it, right? So, I mean, Apple was a bigger competitor to Microsoft than Sony is to Xbox, right? And their goal isn't to, and they've said this plenty of times, their goal isn't to make games exclusive anymore. I mean, it's actually apparent seeing that they don't have any anymore. So if they were to go the radical route, then Satya is just going to look at it like, well, we're just losing money then. I mean, they're just leaving money on the table because they know they already have this established set of people who will buy Bethesda games. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to Starfield, like things like new IPs, they may pull some either time exclusivity or they might just make it exclusive. But before any of that, they will make it just exclusive to Game Pass. I think that's the goal. I mean, listening to what Phil Spencer has said, that's basically what he said when he said that Bethesda games will be exclusive to platforms that have Game Pass. That is exclusive to Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my
he
whole
worded
thing
it
is
that
this
way.
though. Like when you look at Mojang and that $2 billion deal, those games are still coming to PlayStation.
Still coming.
I'm just saying.
Makes no sense to leave it on the table.
But you hear what I'm saying though, right? I'm not saying I hope these, but I'm saying when you look at the optics, when you look at the tangible in the past and history, because again, those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. I mean, Minecraft Dungeons, which came out last year, that was a brand new title developed by an Xbox developer that came out on PlayStation. That's all I'm saying. They owned by Microsoft. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And Microsoft spent $2 billion on them. That's all I'm saying.
Not seven, but 2. And Minecraft is bigger than every Bethesda game. I'm just saying. And they still, what I mean by that is they could have like inherited so many Minecraft gamers straight to Xbox because Minecraft is just that big. And they could have built a big ass motherfucking ecosystem for just Xbox alone, Xbox and PC, but they didn't choose to cut PlayStation out because they know they have a market there. So that's why I don't believe that any Bethesda game will be exclusive. If they are, they'll be small games. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just want Bethesda to get better. Otherwise, then why we even care that they got bought? If Bethesda isn't getting better, if they're using the same engine like I heard they are with Starfield that they use with Fallout 4, then what are we doing here? Like, what was the point of buying it? Like, why even be hype if we know that that's a buggy ass, old ass engine? So, so I guess my answer will be, I believe that the legacy games, like Phil Spencer said, like Fallout, Doom, games with already a market in other consoles will stay on those consoles, just like Minecraft did. And the newer games, it'll be up to PlayStation. People forgetting that PlayStation makes a lot of choices on what comes on their console and what does not come on their console. They chose for Halo Master Chief Collection not to come to PlayStation because they didn't want their gamers to be exposed to the Xbox brand. So it's up to Sony on a lot of these. And more than likely Sony would be like, yeah, or Sony would be like, no. It's up to them. That's why it's case-by-case basis. It's not case-by-case because Microsoft wants it to be. It's case-by-case because it's more than Microsoft's choice to put a game on a different platform.
So I kind of want to shift gears. I'm glad you brought up PlayStation because you know what question I'm about to ask you. The other thing that has been in the talk of the town for the past couple of weeks, PlayStation, and we know that Days Gone is going to be the next game going to PC. We've had this conversation last year, Thrash. You talked about it. Six talked about it. I've talked about it. Bars. Everyone has talked about this and given their different perspectives on why this is something to be worried about in the now. Not saying the sky is falling, right? Not saying that, they're going day and date tomorrow, right? But last year was Horizon, and that was supposed to be a test. Now we're seeing Days Gone, and went from Jim Ryan saying there's going to be a slate of other titles, right?
Right.
I personally feel that putting games on PC for a PlayStation is something that you know how I feel, Thrash. I don't like it.
Oh yeah,
it's not.
Don't like it at all.
It's bad. I'm always going to maintain that stance, right? But I kind of want to get your thoughts on two things. One, these games, we know these are older titles, so I kind of want to keep it in a more general sense. Older titles going to PC, PlayStation titles specifically. Older PlayStation titles going to PC. I want to get your thoughts on that. But the second thing as well is, PlayStation moving into this day and date route? Do you see it? Do you think this is something that PlayStation is easing towards? And if this is something that they're easing towards and trying to do, give me your thoughts on that as well.
Okay. Well, the way I look at it is this, right? Sony has been very open on talking about how important their AAA games are, right? And how important that their brand is. And they also, but that says two things, and it actually matches what's going on now. Now, like you, I don't agree with any of it. I believe that you should be focused on the point of fucking first party games is that you can focus on the hardware you created and take advantage and make the best looking and playing games available on the market. What I see Sony doing here is they see these games, right? And they see the popularity of these games. They see these games being worked hard on for years and years and years. And then they launch and it's wonderful, right? For the first 6 months, fucking fantastic. But after that, these games fall all the way off because they're single player games and they're only on one platform. They put them on sale, they do all of this shit, and they start to make less and less and less and less and less money. Nobody's buying Horizon twice just to buy Horizon twice. So, and same thing with Days Gone. Days Gone is fucking free on the PS5. So there's no value for any new gamer who buys a PS5 to play backwards compatible. It's backwards compatible. It's already free. So if they own it, it's one thing. But if they don't own it, if you get a PS5 and you have PS Plus, you own it. You know what I'm saying? So the value is substantially low for all of those games on that list. So what they're doing is they're reviving recurring income from these games. They're reviving them because they see that they have a market that don't mind waiting to play games, and all they got to do is add option features. You know what I'm saying? Don't even have to really code too much. It's coded to work on PC, and then add options. When it comes to day and date, I think they'll do day and date. I don't think they can afford to do day and date because PlayStation is a system that brought Sony back from the dusk. You know what I'm saying? Like they was literally about to close. So if you eliminate that from that thing that you're king of right now, that you are on top of the game, that you will always have revenue coming in, and they're continuing to break records with it. If they take the value from that away, then you lose. And putting day and date takes away the value from that. And I don't think day and date even makes sense on that because you can get recurring money this way. You can put a system and put a game out on the system, say Ratchet and Clank, and then wait until next gen to PS6 come out, and then start putting PS5 games on PC just like they're doing right now with the PS4. They're spoon feeding PS4 games while they have this new generation right here, and those games that they're spoon feeding have already lost value on PlayStation 4 and 5. So
you think they're going to keep the games that they put on PC? You think they're going to keep them a generation apart? Meaning, like when PS4 games, like PS5's out now, so they'll be putting PS4 games on PC. If PlayStation 6 comes out, PS5 games will be going to PC to kind of revitalize and rejuvenate that income stream,
and have that rejuvenated stream of income, which they've seen happen with PS Now. I mean, I know it's connected all the way back to where PS Now, you got games, people was paying for PS Now to play PS3 games. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a way to bring in or double, or like I said, revive the money coming in from these games. So that would be the best way for them to do it and still have value for PlayStation 5. And it comes back down to that tweet. I broke it down in that tweet that I'm proud of. And I'm never proud of tweets, but I'm proud of this tweet. I said this is the gaming industry and how it's going right now. PlayStation is the movie theaters, right? Well, first, movies are games, right? Let's just say movies are the games. PlayStation is the movie theaters, PC is the DVD players, and Xbox is the rental, right? It's Blockbuster Video. And that's
Okay.
basically how gaming, how they're making, each of those make money in their own way. And that's exactly how gaming is going. You got games coming to the streaming service or Blockbuster Video that these games were never big, so they're not going to the movie theater. You know what I'm saying?
Straight to
So
DVD
they're straight to DVD game.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
And then with PC, you got games that went to the movie theater, but you have to wait until the movie theaters stop making money, and then they put it on DVD to get a new stream revenue of money. So you got that. But if you want to go to the movie theater, you want to play this marquee game day and date, you got to go to the movie theater.
You got to pay a
premium. What I'm saying? And pay a premium and watch it. And then that market still works even with the streaming services and Netflix and all this shit in movies right now today. People still go to the movie theaters and break records. I mean, fucking Marvels and them just broke more records back to back to back. People are still going to the theaters. People still go to concerts. So it's not eliminating the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not eliminating as long as you bring out that good shit. So those three different companies are doing those three different things. The DVD rentals and movie theater marquee.
That's interesting. That's actually a very the way you put it, like with the examples of the movie theaters and rental services and like Blockbuster. That's actually really interesting. That's a really interesting way of putting it, because when you really think about it, PlayStation is most definitely the theater. You get the premium experience. You take your girl out to the movies. You pay $150,000 for the popcorn and the drink.
Popcorn,
you
steal that popcorn. You spend extra money.
Yep. You spend that for the 2-hour, 3-hour experience, and you go home happy.
Yeah.
Then you go home like 6 months later, and that same game. Okay. Yo, I like all right, Thrash. I like that.
Yeah. You see how I was proud of?
Yeah.
You see why I was proud of that tweet?
Yeah. No, that's actually dope. That's
like super accurate, bro. Like that's super accurate on what's going on.
Yeah, I like
Crazy.
that. I like that. So I'm about to ask you a very broad question. Gaming for as long as you have been, and being a part of this gaming community, especially being in the YouTube scene now and on social media and things like that, what are your thoughts on the gaming community? And I'm talking as a whole, not just Xbox guys, PlayStation guys.
Of course.
The gaming community as a whole. What's your thoughts? And listen, you could be raw, man. Listen, like, you free to speak how you want on the show. You free, give it to us, man. Because I definitely want to hear your thoughts.
I tend to be professional.
No. Listen, man. You're free to speak. On my channel, you're definitely free to speak how you feel. I don't want to constrain you, man. So, give it to us raw, man. What are your thoughts on the gaming community, man?
Bruh. Now, growing up, I used to be proud of the gaming community, right? Like, back in the day, it was way just because we were smart, right? Like we would make choices. We would know who's who, what's what. We was the only only customer who would buy a product and know everything about that product. Who made it, how long it took to make, when it went gold. I mean, we fucking knew everything, right? And we would judge it, and we would, give it its due process if needed. If it was garbage, fuck, we were right there to say it was garbage. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's not about like that culture. That part of the culture is just lost. Our smartness is gone. Even with the PlayStation side, our smartness is gone, bro. It's to the point like we're just dumb as fuck. Like these companies have a larger voice than us, though. That's how bad it's gotten. People forgot that we have a larger voice. We are the customer. We are the reason they make games. We are the reason that any company sells anything. It's us. Customer is always right. But now we're waiting for these developers. We're waiting for these companies to tell us what's good or bad, to tell us what we want, to tell us when we're going to get it. And we sit there and don't complain. Same thing with Sony. Same thing with like look, you've been plenty vocal about PlayStation and PC, right? But then there's a lot of people who are just quiet. There's nobody going on Twitter and lining up and tweeting anybody anything. These motherfuckers are quicker to tweet Samuel L. Jackson said nigga or something, or they just quick to cancel that. But we the only culture now like cancel culture is out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we the only ones that's not canceling niggas. We just getting ran the fuck over. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that we should be I don't even like cancel culture, but it just shows the power and voice of just customers. You know what I'm saying? And we are the only ones who sit here and allow shit to happen. In fact, congratulate it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, I'm like, I'm looking at PlayStation 5's UI and like, what the fuck is this? Why is it worse than the PlayStation 4 one? The PlayStation 4 was an upgrade from the PlayStation 3. To me, it's too many buttons to do what I want to do. The PS3, I press up, everything is there for settings, down, everything is there for games. That's it. That's all, period. I'm where I want to be. If I want to leave a game, I press the fucking button once and I can leave and do whatever I want. I can hold the button and pull up the fucking power. I can't do that. I got to press the button, go down, go all the way to the right just to turn my shit off. And I know that's a small complaint, but I'm just saying, like, we haven't gotten the things that we were supposed to get, the things that we were promised. We got promised God of War, bro, for 2021. God of War, 2021. Where that shit at? We are assuming already, just us are assuming that it's not coming out in 2021, but they haven't told us that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas God of War 2016, that shit got announced with a in-game trailer, bro. You know what I'm saying? When we saw God of War for the first time, we knew how it played. We knew the weapons. We knew how it looked. We knew we had a motherfucking son running around for some fucking reason shooting deers. We knew, though, what we were getting. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with Spider-Man. So now they've went and given they're not giving us in-game trailers no more. They're not giving us fucking anything. You know, it's just incredible to see the stark difference and how we're not saying nothing about it. The old us would have said something about it long ago. You know what I'm saying? And I only want to bring up PlayStation because Xbox is way worse and way more obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now you bring up a good point with the whole PlayStation side, right? Because I did a podcast yesterday, Thrash, right, talking about how PlayStation needs to speak up because the news that they have been dropping has been very lackluster and it feels rushed because there really is, you know, they're dropping news without really saying anything, right? Then, you know, like you said, with with Horizon, we saw gameplay of Horizon in 2015, Thrash. We saw, you know, gameplay of God of War in 2016 at E3. You know, like for the first time, and it had the whole orchestra and that whole ordeal. So, you know, It's weird to see, you know, for me, especially, you know, I've been a PlayStation fan for a very, very long time. So, you know, and I was riding for PlayStation even during the hack during PS3. I was still playing on my PlayStation. Even when they was hacking down for like 3 months, I was playing single player games and just, I was riding for PlayStation. You get what I'm saying? You know, so to see the, you know, PlayStation get bullish and real big-headed, and I say this all the time with PlayStation. When PlayStation gets back on top and they get, you know, they get, you know, in a good place again, they always get bullish and oh yeah, we'll tell you when we're ready. Because during when they were coming from the PS3 to PS4 gen, that's when they were opening up and they were real open and we're your friends and yeah man, we got they were putting it into overdrive. Now look, but Thrash, when I say that stuff, oh, I need to calm down. The games are still coming. Yeah, yes, the games are still coming. When? I'm happy for Returnal. I'm happy for, you know, Ratchet and Clank and all these other great games. But, you know, PlayStation is still a little off with their delivery. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, for sure, bro. Like, more than for sure, dog. I mean, they delayed every game that they said was coming out that when they first announced the PS5. And it's the same shit that I've been saying, bro. Like, they're getting more like how Microsoft is with vague comments, vague announcements, not saying anything. This basically saying, hey, nigga, PS5 is out. We gave you Demon Souls. We gave you Spider-Man Miles Morales. Shut the fuck up and wait for the next one. When it's more, and when the old thing was like proud to be like, nigga, we got this, and this. Here's an update for this. Like I remember The Last of Us 2, bro. When in 1 year, bro, they went to almost every motherfucker. They went to Paris Game Week, they went to E3, then they had their own shit at the end of the year, each showing something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's part of the culture that Sony had. That same culture that I was talking about at the beginning of this interview. That gaming, that love for gaming culture, that just beauty of gaming. And where is it for the PS5? You know, like, where is it? It's here. Where the fuck? Where is anything at? I know when people say, "Oh, the games are coming," I'm like, "Bitch, I know." Like, that's it. The games have to be coming. They have a console that just came out. I don't need you to tell me the games are coming, nigga. So is my next breath, nigga. Like, I mean, I know this shit is coming. It's like you're telling me the obvious. I don't want to know that the games are coming because they gotta be coming. What I would need to know is I just invested in PlayStation, buying a PlayStation 5, and now I need to see a return in that, which is the games, for me to actually give you more money to play and complete. A gaming console is not complete without the games. So I need you to help me complete this fucking console. So where are we at with where are we at with Horizon? Where are we at with God of War? You know what I'm saying?
Where is the even like to get into the old game from? Where is this next gen upgrade for Horizon Zero Dawn? The next gen upgrade for Last of Us 2, one of your most popular games last year. Last of Us 2 was one of your most popular games last year, bringing in almost 300 awards. Bro, I would have been on top of that next gen release, next gen patch.
All over it. We still will be when it come out, but still.
Of course, listen. I'm gonna be excited whenever it does come. But what I'm saying is, I would have been capitalizing, like, you know, on the multiplayer. Like, I'd have been like, yo, all that stuff. Like, we don't know nothing. We still waiting. Where's factions?
We're still walking in the dark.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like,
where's factions? We know it's coming. Where's that? But I got a theory on factions, bro. I think that may be day and date on PC, if anything.
Hey, yo, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, King Thrash, bro. If that shit is day and date on PC, PlayStation gonna hear me that day. They gonna hear me that day, bro. I'm gonna be very pissed off. I think
it's gonna be day and date and free to play.
Yeah, that's Jesus.
I think it's gonna be day and date and free to play, dog. Watch, watch it on probably even on Xbox.
So now you breaking my heart, bro.
because I remember the first thing Jim Ryan said was the first controversial thing he said was our first party games will our multiplayer on the first party games will be coming to PC. He didn't say day and date, but I mean, obviously he's only been given like PS4 single player games right now. But I guarantee you that shit's gonna be. I believe it's gonna be day and date, and if not day and date, it's not gonna be too long after that multiplayer come out.
Even Jim Ryan be cryptic sometimes, though, man. Like what shit he's not straightforward all the time. I don't like that, bro. Like I'm a very cut and dry, straightforward person. I need you to. I don't like that beating around the bush bullshit, man. Tell me straight out. Yeah, bro. Like I hate that.
Yeah. My money is straight up. So I need you to be straight. You took my money for this PS5, and my money was straight up. It wasn't no ifs and maybes about it. It wasn't maybe $500. No, it was $500. So I need you to be straight up with your product. You know what I mean? That's obvious.
Facts.
My bad.
One last question, Thrash. One last question. We'll get up out of here. I ask this to all. I always like to ask this to all my guests that come on One Persona interviews because everyone always says something different. So you're standing in front of the gaming community right now. What advice would you give them? Very as
far as gaming,
or just period. Yeah, like it could be gaming, it could be whatever. I'm not gonna guide that. I'm not gonna guide your answer. You're standing in front of the gaming community. What advice would you give them?
The best advice would be something that I'm learning. There's probably these people already learned, but I think the best advice that I can give gamers, Twitter ain't the majority of nobody. So whoever says something on Twitter doesn't mean it's true. and it doesn't mean that that's the consensus of what people are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there are great games out there. A lot of great games, and if you look at them from the artwork aspect of them, or the beauty of them, the biggest flaw or the biggest mistake you can make is keeping yourself available for just one type of game.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest that you go out there and try out. Don't even look at the fucking cover. But just try out. Even go watch some reviews. Don't even try them. Go watch some reviews of games that you wouldn't have normally played, because there are some gems out there, bro. And when I say gems, I mean there are indies that are better than AAAs out there, as far as an experience goes. And nigga, like, that should have changed everything for you if you actually gave gaming a chance, other than just a certain set of games that you play. There should be no such thing as an action gamer, a sports gamer. That if you call yourself a gamer, and if I'm standing in front of gamers, then you know, broaden your horizon as big as you can. Broaden them and give games a chance. You will find yourself playing some crazy games, and there's nothing better than going into the store, PSN or whatever, and have a new arm of games that you would be interested in playing. Once you do that, that's when you can really get the true focus of what it is to be a gamer.
I gotta give a round of applause for that, man. That was deep, man. All right, I like that, man. That's definitely one of the best ones I've heard here on the interview so far, man. Yes. Thrash, man. Listen, thank you for taking some time out today, man, and being on the show and being a guest on Win Persona interviews, man. Give the people your outro, man, and let the people know where they can find you.
Well, I never go on shows and tell people where to find me at, man. I like to leave my strength where my strength is, and give your channel its strength that it deserves. So I won't even tarnish anything by mentioning my busted ass channel. So if you ain't subscribed to Persona Speaks, he's doing shit like this, talking to gamers and having a real gaming conversation. And you want to hear that type of shit, you come here, you subscribe, and you hit that like button. If you want to know where I'm at and you don't know where I'm at, you can eat a dick. Fuck you, you fucking blind ass motherfucker. I've been putting shit out here for years, nigga. If you don't know me, it's because you don't belong. Fuck, nigga. Anybody else who do know me, nigga, do what you do, squad up. Y'all niggas know what it is.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The chat know what it is. Thank you, and fuck you for everything that y'all do for me, chat, man. I really enjoy that shit, man. For sure. And like I said, if the XP is low, don't even speak to these niggas.
Hey, man. Yo, shout out to King Thrash, man. Listen, I'm gonna put his links and stuff in the chat, man. The links to his channel are in the description as well, to his Twitter and to his YouTube. I definitely suggest you guys check out the roundtable. Now, listen, if you guys are sensitive or the faint of heart, you might not want to go there, because it's definitely a very raw.
You won't make it past the chat. They won't make it past.
Not gonna make it in the
chat. Is bad.
Yeah, it's a very raw podcast, but I promise you, it's very enjoyable. He has a lot of great people on there, man. Always good conversations, and I listen to it when I'm gaming, man. I sometimes I gotta pause and laugh because it's just the crazy stuff that they be saying on there. Or like if it's a really good conversation, I'll pause the game and hop on real quick. And that's how open he is with the show, man. And I really do think y'all should check it out, honestly. I'm not.
Hey, that's what I like about Persona too. Persona not lying, y'all. Like real shit. I'll be on 6th channel or wherever. If he'll likely be watching it, and if he hears something, he'd be like, "Look, man, I ain't got that much time. I'm on break, bro. I'm on break. You gonna let me say what I gotta say real quick?"
Yo, for real, man. Because I normally listen to 6 shows while I work. It gets me through the day. And so, like, if Sick is doing like a midday show, I'll stop working. Like, yo, what? Like, hold on, let me get on the show real. Like one time, Sick and Jemai was going back and forth about Spider-Man DLC, and I'm like, what? The Spider-Man Miles Morales. Oh, this was a DLC. I'm like, oh nah, hold on, I gotta get on this show real quick. Hold on. So, shout out to Thrash, man. Like I said, man, thank you so much for being here, bro. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
your time, man. Really appreciate the interview. And for everybody in the chat, I appreciate all of you as well. If you did enjoy the content, like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, if you haven't checked out Roundtable and Thrash's channel, definitely check it out. Follow him on Twitter and all that stuff, man. And listen, I appreciate y'all. Please be safe. This Saturday morning at 11 a.m. What's Up PlayStation podcast with myself and Bari. Remember, Bari's taking a break, so the only place you're going to hear his thoughts on anything regarding PlayStation is going to be What's Up PlayStation podcast, so you do not want to miss that show on Saturday. And with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Please be safe. Have a great night, and I will see you guys next time.